Welcome back to Literary Musings. In today's episode, we are diving deep into one of the most significant works in the English literary canon, Paradise Lost by John Milton. This epic poem, written in blank verse, recounts the biblical story of the fall of man, delving into themes of disobedience, redemption, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Get ready as we explore the complex characters, vivid imagery, and powerful language that make Paradise Lost a timeless masterpiece. Poet John Milton begins the poem Paradise Lost by seeking guidance from a heavenly muse so that he can ably narrate his tale, which aims to justify God's ways to man. Satan, along with his rebellious army of angels, has fallen from heaven and been cast out by God. They now float on a fiery lake in hell. As Satan and his army catch everyone's attention, music starts playing, and banners are raised high. The army constructs a temple atop a volcano, where Satan calls a meeting to discuss their next steps. The fallen angels offer different suggestions for revenge. Beelzebub, Satan's second-in-command, proposes a new strategy, to shift their battlefield to Earth, where a new creation, man, resides. According to rumors, God has made man his favorite creation. Though man is less powerful than angels, Beelzebub suggests they can corrupt mankind and indirectly attack God. Satan, intrigued, sets out to gather more details about man so that he may lead him astray. His army supports the plan by striking their swords in approval. Satan, guarded by his daughter Sin and their son Death, reaches the gates of hell. Sin opens the gates for Satan, her creator and violator, and pledges to follow him wherever he goes. Satan then arrives on earth, which is connected to heaven by a golden chain. God, who witnesses Satan's journey, warns his son that Satan will succeed in corrupting his favorite creation. The son offers to sacrifice himself, dying a mortal death to restore man to God's grace, an offer God accepts. God tells the son that a virgin will give birth to him and that he will become both the king of man and the son of God. Meanwhile, Satan disguises himself as a cherub to avoid detection by Uriel, the guardian of earth. Uriel is fooled by the disguise and leads Satan to the Garden of Eden, where Satan first sees Adam and Eve, in awe of their beauty and innocence. For a brief moment, Satan regrets his rebellion but quickly reverts to hatred. Uriel soon realizes the deception and alerts Gabriel, who finds Satan in the garden and drives him away. God, ever watchful, sends the angel Raphael to warn Adam and Eve about Satan. Raphael shares the story of Satan's rebellion in heaven. Satan's pride was his first sin, leading him to refuse to bow down to God's Son, and ultimately, he incited a battle between his forces and God's loyal angels. The war in heaven raged for 3 days. On the first day, the forces led by Michael and Gabriel defeated Satan's army. On the second day, Satan introduced artillery and cannons, escalating the conflict. But on the third day, the Son alone faced Satan's army and cast them out of heaven, sending them plummeting into hell. Raphael explains that man was created to replace the space left by the fallen angels. He recounts how God created the universe in 7 days, and Adam recalls his own creation and his request for a companion, which led to Eve's creation. Raphael departs, having fulfilled his mission. The next day, Eve convinces Adam that they should work separately. Satan, disguised as a serpent, sees his chance. He approaches Eve and tempts her with the fruit of the tree of knowledge, misguiding her by claiming that eating it will make her a goddess. Eve eats the fruit, and though Adam is furious, he follows her lead, unable to imagine life without her. They consummate their disobedience in lust, but by the next morning, they are ashamed, having gained the knowledge of good and evil. God sends his Son to pass judgment on Adam and Eve. Eve is condemned to suffer pain during childbirth, and Adam is condemned to toil for his survival. Satan, triumphant, returns to hell only to find that God has punished his followers, transforming them into serpents and condemning them to eternal hunger. Adam and Eve, initially blaming each other, eventually seek forgiveness from God. God assures his Son that mankind will not be lost to sin, death, and Satan. The Son will come to earth, sacrifice himself, and conquer evil. God sends Michael to escort Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden. Before they leave, Michael reveals the future of mankind. Tyrants will rule, brothers will kill brothers, and a great flood will nearly destroy the world. But Michael also shows Adam a rainbow, a sign of God's promise. He describes Noah, Enoch, and Jesus as figures who will restore the world through their righteousness. Comforted, Adam and Eve are led out of paradise, hand in hand, filled with hope despite their loss. About John Milton. John Milton, born in 1608, was an English poet, polemicist, and civil servant under Oliver Cromwell. A deeply learned scholar, Milton was fluent in multiple languages and was a key figure in the Puritan cause. Despite going blind before completing Paradise Lost, Milton dictated much of the epic to his daughters. His work is celebrated for its rich language, theological depth, and philosophical exploration of topics like free will and justice. Milton's Puritan beliefs strongly influenced Paradise Lost. He sought to engage with the great religious and political questions of his time, using poetry as a medium for his profound ideas. His masterpiece, Paradise Lost, remains one of the greatest achievements in English literature and continues to inspire discussions on theology, morality, and the human condition. And that's it for today's video on Paradise Lost by John Milton. This epic poem is not just a retelling of the fall of man, but an exploration of rebellion, redemption, and the eternal clash between good and evil. What are your thoughts on Milton's portrayal of Satan as both a villain and a tragic figure? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Literary Musings for more literary analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.